does. And Jonathan, let me know how the audio is when you can. We are live.
Oh, sorry.
So you'll get comments that'll come up here.
Okay.
We'll be able to see how many are watching.
I don't have my reading glasses, so
Oh,
you
you
have to
don't?
read
Okay,
them.
yeah, I'll read them to you.
Okay.
That's all right.
Great.
All right. We're going to have some folks. We'll, so it's been a busy day, huh?
Yes, what time is it now? 8 o'clock.
Do you have a permanent impression of phone on the side of your head?
I do, especially when you've got your office phone on one ear and your cell phone on the other, and you're moving back and forth. But that's okay. I'm glad to do it.
Hey, good evening. I see a few folks are jumping in. Let me know that the audio sounds good. If y'all could just drop us some comments, I'd like to see that. I'm always nervous when I do this, that the audio is going to be bad and you're going to talk and like give really good information, and then nobody's going to be able to hear you. So, all right, we got some folks jumping in. Hey, while you're jumping in, we're going to let let everybody get on and give you a good update today. If you would please share this feed. Let's let everybody know that we're going to be up here. Awesome. We got some good audio. All right. We got about 23 folks jumping in. Man, this is an active group. This is an active group for sure. I think this issue has certainly sparked a nerve in the community.
So all the people that are joining are showing up?
Yep. So you're seeing, you got the number of folks. We're jumping up to 35.
Okay.
These are the comments. So
I wish I had my reading glasses.
Yeah. So hey, Patrick.
You have reading glasses, David? You need to hand me your reading glasses.
Patrick Barone's checking in. Good to see you tonight, Patrick. Barone's Pizza, another local business owner.
Didn't he post on his sign? Is that Stevie B's?
Yeah. So now it's Barone. Now it's Barone's Pizza.
Oh, sorry, it's the Barone's. Okay.
So they're changing. They're in the process of doing that.
Well, thank you for posting on the sign. That was amazing. Thank you. All
right. We're getting some folks in here, guys. Again, hit that share button. Go in there. Click some of the likes. And we'll get the crowd just a little bit bigger. I mean, we've been doing 400 or 500 on some of these meetings. So I know you're out there.
It might be too late for him. Like it is for me. It's time to go to bed.
You think? I don't know. There have been a lot of warriors out there going through, digging a lot of information.
I've been noticing that too. I've been, you get very energized and encouraged when you see so many people active. And so I'm on Facebook at 10 o'clock at night and enjoying reading it. So it's exciting to see people engaged.
It's almost like Facebook knows how to get you. It's cool. It's cool to see the community using a platform like this. So.
It is, and just the level of productive comments people are making, and the level of seeing how much they care. It's just, you just want to keep reading it. So it's pretty exciting.
All right, guys. Well, we got about 70 or 80 folks that are in there with us now. So we will get started. I will. My name's Michael Wildman. For those of y'all that don't know me, you've probably seen me do some of the lives. I've been posting some of that stuff. So I've kind of been pulled in to try and help coordinate some of the social media stuff. That's what I do. I work over at Bucks Island. So if you're into fishing, you probably see me on the camera at some point. What we're going to do these updates. We've been talking with Christy and the team that are working on this opposition. We're going to try and do updates every night. I don't know if we might end up being a little earlier in the next few nights, but around the evening to give you kind of a wrap up of what's been going on. Christy said, she's been getting a lot of phone calls. A lot of good information has been coming out. You guys are pouring in a lot more stuff. So we're going to be doing those updates every night through, at the very least, we're going to do it through Monday night, because the next big thing, guys, is next Tuesday is the Gadsden City Council meeting. first I'll say plan if you can. It's awesome that you watch online, but please, please, please try and make it over there. I know it's tough to take some time off of work or whatever, but we need a showing. It was apparently the feedback is when we were cheering outside, they could hear us inside, and that is awesome. So please, that is the next big thing. And we also need to make sure that we're letting the folks, as you're sharing this, share this group, continue sharing, and let's get some more folks in the opposition group. Let's really focus on Gadsden City residents, because we really need Gadsden City residents to reach out to the city council. So that's kind of what I'm doing in here. I'm going to try and help moderate some of this. We're coming up with a game plan to consolidate, make it a little easier to find all the information, and more on that to come tomorrow or the next day for sure. It's not quite ready for prime time, but we're getting all that stuff together to make it easier to find the information. If you want to get more informed, if you got friends that you need to get more informed, that's what we've got going on. So first, I'm going to turn it over to Christy, and we'll let you just kind of talk through what's been going on, what have you learned through today, and hit the high points. And then, guys, we're going to open up some questions. I think my gut's telling me from the activity I've seen in the group, you guys may go nuts with some questions, so we probably aren't going to get to all of them. But definitely, while we're going, drop the questions, and we'll try to do the best we can, because we want everybody to be as educated as they can be. So what's happened today? What's going on? Where are we at?
Well, we've leapt straight. We've had a productive couple of days. I've been really excited to see how energy everybody has, and I think we've seen a lot. So, but we got to move straight into getting ready. So, Tuesday is when we've asked to be in front of the council so we can discuss the concerns that everybody has, and so we've launched straight into, okay, we've shown up for the first. Now we've got to show up for next week, and we've got to get ourselves ready. So we had the team here just sort of brainstorming around our table and making sure that we there's so many points to make. I mean, it's almost difficult with the short amount of time in order to kind of make sure that we hit all of the points that need to be pointed, all of the concerns everybody has. So a lot of that is what we've been trying to work on. And a lot of it's just kind of going through what the Pilgrim's Pride presentation was at the council and just fact checking that. And so we found some really interesting things we're excited to share with y'all. And yeah, a lot of you guys shared that with us. So you guys that watched and were able to and have responded and emailed and sent information and news articles to help us to fact check some of the things that they had to say. So we're really excited about that. Keep doing that. And I said on the live video that Michael did yesterday after the council meeting that, the council members mentioned, research. They wanted to do their own research, which is fair. It's not very hard. Honestly, you just Google it, and you've got just page after page of concerns and articles. And so a lot of you've posted that on the page, which is absolutely great. It's been helpful, but it's hard in a Facebook feed in order to kind of gather all those. So I asked you guys yesterday on the Facebook Live to email those. And so it's what's the email, guys? What's the no rendering plant at gmail.com. No rendering plant at gmail.com. That's right. No rendering plant at gmail.com. So keep doing that. We've gotten, Julie, how many have we got?
Over 500.
Over 500 emails already with articles and EPA complaints, OSHA complaints, lawsuits, just all kinds of stuff. So keep doing that. That helps us as we gather that, because what we would like to do next week is to be able to kind of compile all that and go, to assist you guys to do all the research that here's what we have found, and we want to share that with you. So give you a opportunity to see what we have seen. This is the most well-informed, educated, hardworking, dedicated group of people I have ever seen. I am blown away at the integrity and the passion And I know there's been some concern about, are people, sending emails that may not be as polite as they need to be. And we're going to be, everybody needs to be mindful of that and be respectful and kind. But some of that is just the passion and the energy that people are bringing to this. And we're really seeing this through the response we're getting to the emails with all of that information. Another thing that I think I mentioned, I think Carrie Smith posted about this, about going to, if you're around a plant or you know somebody who is around a plant, to go see what's going on. Take a whiff. You got a nose. Go smell. And so I won't really talk about. I have had some sleuths, I'll call them, that have really decided to take some field trips. And so I'm getting some really good reports from that. And so, yeah, we may share some of that. We may wait till next week. We may share some of that. We'll sort of see. But, if you've got family or friends, or you've heard of anybody that lives around one of these things, and they can walk out there and take a video and say, here's where I live and here's the concern. Don't be like us. That's great. And these ideas aren't coming from me. These are from you guys. You guys are posting, and it's genius. I love it. And so now be safe. Obviously, don't trespass. Don't do anything. Just stay on like main roads. But if you can do that, that's the kind of information. You just can't beat people who are concerned, who care, who get out there and ask the questions and do the research and encourage their neighbors to do so, and send emails and make calls and tell their story. I can talk all day long. Politicians can get up and spout for hours, but that is nothing compared to people telling their story and government listening to them. And that's what this is really about. And so keep giving your good ideas, keep doing it, keep doing your homework, and share that, send those emails, post. Michael and Jonathan are doing some great things to try to make our platform easier in order for you to do all that. So we're just doing our homework right now. We're going to be sharing a lot more of that as we work on that for next week. It's real important that y'all come next week. I know people might have felt, I don't know if they did, but might have felt like, oh, well, I just stood outside in the hallway, or, oh, I was just outside in the park. But I can tell you, in that room, when we heard the cheers from outside, I got chill bumps. I mean, you should have seen the reaction in the room. And that's what I'm talking about. There is nothing that can replace people coming out there and saying, we're here, and then looking out and seeing them. So you may not have felt like, it was cold and I was just in the hallway, but it meant a lot. It really did. And it will mean even more. The 8th is a big, big deal. And if you can come out, that would be extremely helpful.
Okay.
Any questions?
I'm seeing some questions. Guys, again, there's a lot of comments rolling in. We got a little over 100 folks in there with us. So please do not get offended if we don't get to every single question. Because a lot of folks have the same questions. So I'm going to try and pick some stuff. So here's one. Have you checked with weather people about the winds? We discussed where.
Yes. Is that April asking that?
I can't tell right now. It just tells me a Facebook user. I think it's because it's pulling out of a group. I can't necessarily pull your profile.
I don't know if that's April. I think April's her name. I'm sorry. I've gotten so many Facebook messages and posts, but there's a great Facebook warrior out there who had some questions about wind, and she had called, and I think it was April, and she had talked to the National Weather Service about these prevailing winds. And I'm not going to do justice because she sent me a report and a lot of information, because one of the arguments that they were making, and that's part of the fact checking, was that the prevailing winds were this, and they were calm, and they were whatever. So, which begs the question, if it doesn't smell, why are you worried about the winds to begin with? But, that really doesn't make a lot of sense, that, it doesn't smell, but let's talk about the wind. But anyway, so But she had done some checking on that and found that actually it's not so much the speed of the prevailing wind. Sometimes calm wind is the worst thing you can have, and it's also what the air pressure is, and it's some other things. And so I have not had a chance to really read it as in depth as I wanted. She sent me some graphs. So the short answer is I'm a lawyer. I can't answer things.
And I would say from my aviation background, I mean, and getting into weather, I mean, fog, one of the conditions of fog is you got to have, less than, I think it's 10 mile an hour of wind. And so, I mean, you think about that.
Right.
With calm winds, that's not good. Now you just got a fog of stench that's going to sit there.
And that's the point she was making, that they were talking about, oh, there's such low wind speed. And she's like, actually, that's not good because it just sits there. And and then when you do get a wind, you get a big whiff of it because of that. So so yes, that's part of the fact checking, and the Facebook family out there has really I'm not an expert in wind, but somebody is. So I got the information. It's great.
And I'll throw out there as just kind of, I'm just here to try and help coordinate the discussion that's going on. But I mean, we've been here a couple hours now, right? I mean, just to the discussion alone, a lot of it is talking about all this stuff that you guys are throwing in the group and a lot of the information. And quite honestly, just trying to figure out how to consolidate everything and keep it on point. To be the most effective that it can be.
Yeah, because literally we could spend an entire day talking about all the problems and the concerns. And so part of this meeting is figuring out what's the most effective way with the short amount of time we're going to have.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to promise I'm going to do everything I can to try and use the internet. And make sure that even if the voice can't be heard in the city council meetings, that it's known in the community. And I know people are listening. You said you've gotten a lot of great comments from folks seeing you on here. So, all right, let's jump in. The FAA can stop this because it's an airport property owned by the United States. Has this avenue been pursued?
I love that question. I'm getting that question a ton. Thank you for asking for that one. So. Yes, part of what will have to happen, as I understand it, is there will have to be FAA approval because of the nearness of this place to the airport and the runway and all of that. So I know that there's people who have been anxious to not be, who have powers to stop this, but are anxious to not be labeled as having it, going, oh, well, the FAA can just make this go away. We need to talk to them. I'm not discounting the idea that this will have to get permitted by the FAA and that there's some real issues on whether or not that can happen or not. But if we're relying on the FAA to not permit this thing, if we don't locally stop it before it gets to the FAA, it gets there. If we've not stopped it locally, that we're like, oh my gosh, I hope the FAA doesn't, allow this to happen. We have not done our job. We have not taken our responsibility as citizens in handling this locally. And so yes, that's true. And yes, it's not for sure that a permit would be done, but I guarantee you, I don't think that it's the idea that, oh, they're not going to grant a permit, don't worry about it. We've been hearing that a lot too. Like, don't worry about it. This is a non-issue. The FAA isn't. I don't believe that. I think that Pilgrim's Pride wouldn't be here if they didn't think they could get a permit from the FAA. They think that they can. And again, if we haven't handled this locally and we're relying on that's not a position that we want to be in.
So that is, I mean, that from what you've talked about, that sounds like that's, on down the road.
Yes,
It's definitely, it's a hope that if it comes to that, certainly that will have to go through.
That's step, 5. We want to stop it at 1.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. And
people want to
take
their responsibility serious.
And so back to, the focus on that is certainly let's get the city council members. That seems to be, from what you're saying, that's the way we need to stop it right now. And which I guess I'll ask the question, on my own. So do we know for a fact whether they're voting for anything or not voting next Tuesday?
As far as I know, they are not voting on anything on Tuesday. Councilman Jason Wilson said, at the meeting last week, I'm telling you, I am not going to vote on anything until we have the opportunity in order to do this. And so, going into last week, we were very concerned that they may just pop up and vote on this thing, and so we don't think that they are going to, but we don't know when. So it could happen very soon after that. It could happen a long time after that. We don't really know. It doesn't. It to me, the point is, let's get this over with. Let's get it voted down and let's move on to other things. So I'm hoping that it, first of all, it won't drag out. And second of all, that it will be a quick no. And then we can start to build something together instead of being angry at each other.
Yes. All right. Are there more signs available? Lots of people have been wanting them.
We're
working on them. That's what Julie
I think
would say.
our first batch has gone really quickly, so we're going
Okay.
We're going to replenish.
Signs are in high demand.
How many was in the first?
I think we got 100 in the first.
So
batch.
100 was in the first batch, and then they're gone.
They're gone.
You're ordering more.
Well,
Okay.
yes.
We're
Atlanta,
trying to do 1,000.
You're gonna do 1,000 this
yeah,
time.
Atlanta delivered them out today. I think the yard signs came in today.
And they're gone? They came in one day and they're gone? Really?
They're
Wow,
seeming
okay.
to be gone. If people can still message, I think they're messaging the Willow Tree and some of them.
Okay, so Willow Tree is where they need to go for that?
They were at Willow Tree.
Okay, so go message them. I'm assuming through Facebook. Message the Willow Tree.
And I think they're at their store on Rainbow Drive as well.
Okay. So probably at least let them know if we're doing more orders. At least let them know that you want one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
They're free. That's what David says. They're
Free of charge.
Mhm.
Anyone contacted the news media in Birmingham? We've had quite a few. I've seen the media from downtown or from Birmingham.
Yes, they've been contacted. They were contacted before the meeting yesterday. And yesterday there was Channel 42 was there, and ABC 3340 was there. The Gadsden Times was there. So I think we're getting, was AL.com there? Do you know?
They were there Monday night. I'm not sure.
They were there Monday night. Yeah.
Well,
so, yes.
I'll tell you, as a social media guy, it's great to see them there. We want that for sure to get more word out. But this group right here, that Jonathan McCormick started, this opposition group, because as you're saying, for the community, this is a community issue. The 4,000 people in this group, that's a pretty good chunk of our community. We need to make that chunk bigger. But that's the most important people that need to see this and hear about this. The council members, I can't, most of them were saying they were getting hundreds of emails.
They were.
Guys, I'd like to point out that going back, I think we were looking at the city council meeting had over 8,000 views yesterday. I think the next biggest number I saw was about 1,300, 1,400 views. Guys, you showed up, and I want to make sure that nobody discounts the power. I know not everybody can get off work and come and be there. We had 500 people watching online the other night. So that's the media that can really get in front of a lot of the decision makers in this community.
Didn't on Monday, between those that were there and those online, we had almost 1,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of people.
So guys, keep that press on, because quite honestly, I think that's how the city council members are going to, and we'll be happy. And I'm certainly going to be the one to remind them that every one of those people, that's a voter in this community,
And talk a little bit about that. Jonathan did some statistics on this Facebook page to discuss the argument that Gadsden residents aren't engaged and aren't part of this discussion. Do you remember what the numbers, Jonathan?
I don't remember the exact number,
Maybe
but
Jonathan
it was
will pop in.
Jonathan. Hey, if you can post that in there, the exact numbers because I don't want to butcher it because I don't remember exactly what he
It was
said, but
more
it was a pretty
Gadsden
good chunk.
people than
Yep.
anybody. If I remember that when he looked at the numbers of who was a member or engaged in this page, it was the majority were Gadsden people.
And I think this is definitely, I mean, this is an issue that's going to affect everybody. So not just those of us in Rainbow City. All right. Here's a comment. We need to put a face to the people who this affects the most. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we're talking about some other ways to do some more video as we do some of these updates. We're definitely that's a very, very good idea.
We were talking about that. That's perfect because tonight we were talking about how to do that. I don't want to, because I know that there's people who are in favor of this plant who are watching this too and watching our page too. So I don't necessarily talk about everything next Tuesday that we're going to do as well either. But I think that we talked about, having just some videos of people that this is going to affect, like, and because that is what is important.
Mhm.
That's what this is all about. We can sit and talk in a room all day long, but if you put people to the story, then you can't just ignore that. So yeah, we were talking about ways that we can, because we've done that. We've signed a bunch of petitions, which is amazing. All the petitions, all the meetings, but having some type of video to show people. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question or comment.
All right. Have you found a current plant that has the same technology installed that they are proposing installing at this plant?
They haven't found a current plant that we're aware of. I mean, no. I mean, in fact, they every implication or indication they have made is that they don't have one. That they're going to build. They keep calling it state of the art, whatever that means. It can mean a lot of things, but that they haven't said this is one we've done. You would think if they have one, they'd go and and here's the one we have. We've not heard that at all. And in the research I have found, I have not found what they say they're going to build. And I think that there's some question about what exactly state of the art means and what they will build compared to what they're saying that they're going to build. So no, we do not know of having a plant that has that current.
We're not firmly saying that there isn't one.
We just don't.
We just haven't found one.
If you find one, let us know. We'd love to know that. That would be great.
And it sounds like we could point the council members to that want to make a trip. That's what they're saying they want to do. So
that's the kind of information that we need. You got to remember, guys. Other than what Pilgrim's Pride showed us at the meeting, they gave us nothing. The city has given us nothing. They're claiming the non-disclosure agreement, and that's an issue for a whole other day. But we found out from the research, from you guys, from what we've been able to find. And so a lot of questions I noticed on Facebook the other night were, what do you know about this? And what do you know about that? Well, we don't. There's some things we do know, but there's a lot of things that we don't. And so we would love for them to share that information with us, and so we can go and see.
All right. Here's one. Gina, I know she's a warrior in there.
She is. You go, girl.
So I pre-read some of this because it's definitely a lot, but basically it sounds like I think everybody's getting caught up on the $24 an hour. You said the average refused to answer the question on record as the average labor hourly wage.
You did.
That is important. So yeah, that's definitely something that was discussed tonight.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. They've talked about the average wage is $24 an hour, but I think Councilman Worthy asked a great question yesterday at the council meeting. He asked, is that 24 hours the hourly wage, or does that include the salary people that are the accountant and the whatever? Oh, no, it includes them too. And so when you look at and then the question he asked was, well, what's the hourly wage of the hourly people who were going to work there? And he refused to answer it. He said, I can, I won't. confidential or whatever. So we don't, but we do know, here's what we do know is that it's not $24 an hour. That we do know. So we don't know what it is. My guess is it's about the hourly wage that's paid at every other job. And that would be reasonable to assume. So, but that is Gina, you're right. That $24 an hour is a number we've heard a lot, and it's just not accurate.
All right. In the articles, research from other cities with rendering plants. How old are these facilities? How concerned are you that they will just dismiss it as this plant will be better and none of those things? I mean, back to the show us where they've got one of these state of the art. I mean, is that a concern?
I think that's a fair question, and we've seen in the different rendering plants everything from 20 years old to, well, it was built 3 or 4 years ago. So in what I've been able, and I think that we've consistently seen that complaints have come from them all. There may be worse complaints or better complaints, but I got so many points to make with this. First of all, they talked about it's the 2020, it's the 2020 version. If that's the case, then why haven't you got your stinky ones fixed? If you can make it not stinky in 2020 because there's this great state-of-the-art technology, why do your other ones still smell bad? Like, why don't you put that in first in the other ones before you build another one? I don't know if I'm really, yeah, exactly. And that way you would be a partner to the community and you solve a lot of problems. I don't really, I think that question is that point they're trying to make is not logical to me in a lot of ways. And y'all, it's Mother Nature. You're not going to haul in 1.2 billion pounds of rotting raw meat parts a year up and down our roads and convert it into animal feed and then ship 1.2 billion back out and it not smell bad. Just Mother Nature doesn't let that happen. I mean, and we can't defeat her. I mean, she is Mother Nature, and there's just certain things that are going. Odor is associated with them, and we are being asked to check our common sense at the door to believe otherwise. And similar to the questions that were asked at the council meeting, or the implication that if you're not a subject matter expert on smell, you kind of don't have the ability to judge whether or not odor is going to be caused by a plant. I mean, again, those are the kind of things that it takes away from just the respect that you should get as a human, that you can smell and that what Mother Nature can do, and that what your common sense tells you. And just because people tell you to disregard it doesn't mean you should.
And that I went back up. Here's along the same smell lines. Ask the Petro why they won't let protein gut trucks stay in their parking lot anymore.
Okay, that's a great question. Yeah, thank you for that.
That's a good one. All right, I saw a few more. We'll keep going. Some good stuff. How many are on the agenda for next week? As of tonight, do you know? That's what we're talking about, actually. So we've got several that we know that we have asked to be placed on the agenda, and there may be others who, outside of this group who have asked as well too. So I'm going to call up there tomorrow. I want to do. I think the fair and most logical thing to do from a logistical point of view and just fairness is Pilgrim's Pride had 20 minutes and they had a PowerPoint and a presentation. And I think the most logical is to let this group do that rather than having 4 or 5 people all and have, this part. Let us have a PowerPoint presentation, just like them, and have two people up there to speak. Here's our PowerPoint. Not because, I just think it's just a better delivery of information in a more informative way and a more cohesive way in order to do it. And it's fair. It would be fair. So I'm going to,
as we talked in the group tonight about how are we going to logistically do these people, when you have 5 minutes at the end of a meeting. And
Right.
let me back up. That's typically what the council does. And you got
Okay.
5 minutes at the end of a meeting, and that's all. And if multiple people want to speak, then you each have your 5. So I just think that has its own challenges. So more to come. We'll update you after we talk to the city and to see if we will be given the same opportunity that they did.
Okay. Here's one. Received a survey from the chamber, so chamber members look for it and fill it out.
Yeah. I think that there's been a big outreach there, that some of the chamber members had inquired about what they could do, and I think the chamber has sent a survey just to kind of poll everybody.
Mhm.
What is this? And they routinely do that when issues come up, because they want to represent the members, and so I think they're seeing what their members want to do. So I'm anxious to respond to that. If you want the chamber to take a position or to say something or to help or whatever, make sure that you let them know.
Yeah.
Let 'em know.
Well, and for sure, I mean, that's business owners.
Mhm.
There's going to be a lot of folks affected. Let's see here. Have any city council members committed to vote no yet?
I have not heard any committed to vote no, but I think we started with, a lot of them saying, the ones that would say were saying yes. Now we've kind of gotten to everybody just about going, well, I don't know, I need to do my own research. And I think we're moving towards, as we respectfully and constructively help share information, share our stories, and being able to change hearts and minds. And I'm hopeful.
All right.
Just keep it up. Keep doing that. Mm-hmm.
Have you contacted the sheriff's office about the traffic with the trucks coming in and the possible traffic issues involved with this? They can be a big help.
Oh, I haven't. I didn't know that was something that they did, but I'm happy to reach out and see what Sheriff Wharton has to say. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And if you happen to be
Yeah.
part of the sheriff's department,
can help us.
or your spouse, or
Yeah.
your brother,
Mhm.
bring that up. That's a good one. Let's see here. Hugh Stump. The PAC needs to invest in reaching City of Gadsden residents and make them aware, as the city council will listen more to their constituents in Rainbow City, Southside, etc.
Yeah. Michael, I know that's part of what you, Jonathan, and you were doing as well too. And the PAC is too. I had a conference call with Senator Jones today, and the group that he's working with at the PAC, and they are doing that. That's exactly what they're doing. So absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you So first off, what everybody can do is your friends in Gadsden share this group, invite them in. Make sure they're aware at this point, wherever you work. Ask, hey, are you aware of what's going on? And albeit, I know not everybody's on Facebook. We're probably going to get some stuff on Instagram and try to do as much as we can on the internet. But nothing beats going to your coworkers and your friends and going, hey, are you aware of this going on? As many people as we have, it's far from everybody. The other thing is we're definitely going to run some paid ads. Some of you may start seeing stuff that to bring awareness to this in the Gadsden and the rest of Etowah County. That's we're definitely making some efforts. Not 100% sure what the PAC and their efforts are going to do, but we're our own citizens doing some stuff as quickly as possible because we want to get the word out, particularly for next Tuesday. It's not a long timeline, so that is what we're going to do. I see some numbers. Looks like Jonathan shared some numbers in the group, and I'm pretty far behind. Okay. Could anyone get information on how to get the Air National Guard's thoughts and comments on this? Maybe they can help with the.
Lance Corey, am I saying his name right?
Yep.
Yeah, Lance is working on that. I've been Facebooking him, and he brought that up as well too. He's got some good contacts. So
He's a retired Army Reserve
Mhm.
helo pilot. Thankfully, he was Navy early on. I was a Navy guy myself, so yeah,
yeah, so
he's reaching out.
Yeah, he's reaching out, and there's some people I've hooked him up with to connect, and I think he's done that. But that's a great. There's a whole aviation, with it being the airport, obviously, component to all of this, and the fact that the Air National Guard drills and has their jumps. Am I saying that? Their jumps
Mhm.
there is a big issue. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it just jumped on me.
Can I have while y'all are waiting?
Yeah.
There is a few yard signs left. They can get them at the Willow Tree Distribution Center or Choice. And she's telling me there's a few sweatshirts left. If anybody was interested in those, I forgot
Okay.
what they said exactly. We had them at the Monday night meeting. There's a
Mhm.
few of those left. You can get those at Choice too. And I'll have them all there in the
Okay. Were they able to hear that? Should we?
Um,
repeat
Yeah, let's repeat that. So signs are
There's
available.
a few yard signs
A
left.
few yard signs left at the Willow Tree or
Choice.
Choice.
that?
And then
It's at the Willow Tree Distribution Center
Yes.
in on Steel Station Road.
On Steel Station Road.
Right.
And then there will be, she's got a few sweatshirts left, and I told her I'd pick those up.
Okay.
So if anybody
so a
was
few
interested in
few
those,
sweatshirts. It's late. I'm having trouble talking. Okay. What about the amount of money for tax abatement? And Pilgrim's Pride is actually part of a group owned by a company in Brazil.
Somebody's done their research. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Pilgrim's Pride is owned by JBS, according to my research, which is there's JBS USA that's owned by JBS whatever that is a Brazilian company. And you can Google that, find out all kinds of information about JBS and its owners. That is right. Julie, was some of that on the emails that people have sent in some of the research they've done?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot. If you can, Pilgrim's Pride JBS owns like Pilgrim's Pride and Gold Kissed, and there's a whole list of subsidiaries. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to search if you want to. And so the tax abatement. So the state of Alabama has various taxes. That's what the tax abatement is. It's some state and local taxes. The state's abating some taxes.
Mhm.
The number I put out there was just the local taxes, the 5 million plus. There's an additional state taxes that there is an abatement going for that. So yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot. And then there's other incentives. There's the tax abatement the city's doing. And as I understand it from documents I have been provided, there are other incentives the city is offering as well.
All right. What do you think? A couple more questions. I think we've been going for almost 45 minutes now.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Lots of good questions. And I think this is a quick and easy way to try and let everybody know and inform them of where we're at. Has anyone been able to reach out to residents or business owners near the Hanceville plant? Can we get feedback from those residents on how that plant has had negative impacts on their community?
Did Jonathan post those pictures?
I don't know. I'm sure if you will. So we've gotten some feedback already. I know Jonathan McCormick got sent some photos and even I think some video. We may be getting that shared up, but yeah, that's definitely. We've already got folks that are making some road trips, which is awesome to see. Again, do it all legally. Don't trespass. But yeah.
Got a lot of questions.
Yep.
Hey, Katie. I see Katie. She's been awesome.
All right. I think that's a good.
Katie's the one that's got the special needs place, right? Isn't that her? Julie, am I saying that right? Yeah.
Pediatric.
Yeah, she's got a special needs pediatric clinic
Yeah, they did.
that would be
occupational
in-
therapy kind of
that would be
stuff.
right by this place. And she was concerned obviously about the smells and that these
Airborne.
special needs kid, that what an
Mhm.
effect that would have on her. She had sent a letter. It's just amazing. Those kind of stories,
Yeah.
that story think about that, about these special needs kids and the service that she's trying to provide these children and the impact that something like that
And
just
she
could
was
have.
downtown Gadsden, is my understanding, and moved out because her business had grown.
Yeah. So she just recently moved to this
Mhm,
this
because
new
her
place.
business had grown, she needed more space.
And that's what I'm hearing a lot. People were saying, this plant's moving to me. I'm not moving to it. I mean, I already have a home, or I have a place, and so that's
Well, I know Jonathan's already, gentleman that I guess just retired and was, family plot of land right out there by the airport and was going to build a house and all that kind of stuff. And now,
Lance is you talking about Lance or somebody
I
else?
don't know that I've caught
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories of people. It's just amazing.
So guys, keep sharing those.
Mhm.
And I'm going to do the best I can to try and consolidate those and give a place that folks can be heard with that. So, that may be him. I have photos from today in Hanceville. Open top trucks with tarps left outside the plant.
Who's that? Just a Facebook user? Or who that
Yeah,
is?
I think it's showing up as Facebook user. You probably don't have your profile all public. You probably got it locked down for good reason. You don't want weirdos coming and checking you out on Facebook. Yeah, that's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah, those are online. Is that what he's saying? He's posted them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
those were. Oof.
Yep. Okay. I am not seeing too much more, and I know I got a little bit more work left to do tonight, and I'm sure you do as well. So guys, I hope this helps. We're gonna try, and like I said, we're gonna try and do this every night until at least next Monday night, and try to get you an update on what's going on. Keep everything coming. Let me pull that email address up real quick one more time. If you've got stuff, no rendering plant at gmail.com. No rendering plant at gmail.com. Shoot the emails over there. They are being looked at. I don't know. It sounds like we've got a bunch of them, so we're trying to do the best we can. With that being said, with this group, as it's expanded and grown, and it needs to keep growing, and everybody's posting and commenting, we're just going to run into the point where there aren't enough of us to kind of moderate and to get everything approved. So don't get, some comments may start not getting allowed in there. Don't get upset at us. I promise you, it's just a technical. We just don't have the time to go in and do all that, but we still need to try and keep some control so it just doesn't get completely out of hand. But I mean, so far, and I think even what we heard from the councilman, even as they were complaining some about, ugly things that are sent to them, the vast majority, they said, were good, well thought out, well constructed, polite. That's who we are, right? I mean, that's who we are in the community. And I have been very impressed as I've seen this group. I know there's a lot of passion, which, is very easy to lose control of. But from everything I've seen, there's a lot of good folks that are doing a lot of really good research and just really frustrated and want to get their voice out and be heard. And that's we're be here or be at the council meeting next Tuesday at 11. That is going to be the best way to be heard. And even if you can't make it, if you can be online, then we're going to do the best we can to make sure they understand that 500 people on Facebook is still 500 people. It's still 500 people in our community, 500 voters. It's not just the internet. That has a lot of value. So everything you guys are doing, no matter what it is helping in some way. So you got anything else?
Don't. Just thank you, everybody. Y'all just blow all of us away. You should just, the fact that you are doing what you are, and the sincerity that you're bringing to this, and the passion and the willingness to really kind of ask that big question, like what are we doing? What are we about? This is just and see the response that this is just not us. We're this persevere. We're going to fight through this. Some days are going to feel better than others. Some days it's going to, but we're going to fight the good fight every day. And just this group coming together and doing this and coming together is a big deal. And we're gonna win it.
All right, guys. Hey, keep sharing, keep inviting. I know some of you probably hit that borderline Facebook jail of inviting too many people. Keep the press on. Folks, again, Facebook's great. As much as I love the internet and the ability to talk and build community, still talk to your coworkers. There are a lot of people that aren't on Facebook. So make sure that they know the signs are great in the yard, sweatshirts and all that kind of stuff. We got a few days to really talk about this, and we need to keep the press on and let folks know how important it is and what it means to our community. So, all right, we're going to get out of here and get a little bit more work done tonight and get ready for, the fight continuing tomorrow. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. We'll see you on the internet here for the next few hours. Later.
Good night.